it's so important for people to check in and make sure they're not asking themselves what's out there that is good for me, and instead asking what's within me that is giving me indication of what I should do.
Get inspired. Transform your life. Welcome to Best Interest Radio.
Hello everybody, welcome to part 2 of my episode with Flo as we continue to dive into our discussion based upon how digestive health equals mental health. And this part of the conversation we talk a little bit more about intuitive eating, how our beliefs affect our body's response to certain foods we eat, and we get into a little bit of a discussion about fasting and more into the energetic and spiritual side of foods and how our emotions, play an effect on our body and the foods we eat and all of that stuff. So stick around for that, and also Flo gets into her amazing program that she has to offer. So stick around, have a listen, and thank you so much for listening to Best Interest Radio. This being said, I wanted to talk about my favorite digestive enzyme company, Biooptimizers. I have tried so many on my journey to healing my gut and bringing it back to balance. This company is by far the best. They also make very high quality probiotics that are directed at helping improve our mental health called Cognibiotics, as well as an amazing enzyme that will help you digest gluten with ease called Gluten Guardian. So, if you're looking to try something natural, safe, and effective to assist your digestive system, check out the link in the description for a discount on Biooptimizers.
The secret is to never abandon your connection to yourself and staying mindful of how you do things. It's the how that really counts. It's not what you choose to eat. It's more about what state of mind you're going to be in when you eat.
Exactly. I always keep that in mind too. And there's actually, whether you're Christian or not, there's a part in the Bible that talks about how what you eat is basically based off your conscience. So if you believe the food's going to be bad for you, it will be bad for you because your conscience is weak. They don't say it in these words, and if you believe it's going to be good for you, it'll be good for you. And it also talks about not judging others about what they eat, because it's like, he eats this or doesn't eat this because he believes in it. So, and you believe in what you eat, so you sort of kind of look at yourself first. And that's actually something I really want to talk about too, is I believe that our beliefs play a big part in how food affects us. I'm all about the placebo effect. I mean, of course, I talk about changing your mindset all the time and changing your life, and I don't think it's like 100% your mind, like changing things with the flip of a switch. I think it's like a sort of 50-50 thing. Like, you can't change the external, but you can change how you react to it. So you can't change what's coming into your body, but through the placebo, through the mindset, through your belief about what you're eating, you can change how your body responds to it. Because we're equipped with fascinating, outstanding physiological processes, and our ability to adapt is incredible. So if we can have confidence in what we eat, in a state of gratitude, our food will be that much better for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, food and all the systems that we talked about are only the physical part of a holistic approach to mental health. Everything that is alive pulsates with energy, and the living tissues in our body generate energy, and each area of the body transmit energy on a specific frequency. So, and that's acknowledged by scientists and quantum physicists as the magnetic field generated by the body's biological processes. So thanks to the work of a woman like Louise Hay and Carolyn Myss. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Yep.
So these people, they have practiced and they have developed a belief and and a whole practice really on the human energy fields and how it holds those frequency and the emotion that are created by our internal and external experiences. So just to link it to what you said, your emotions basically, they travel through our body and they emit a frequency, and that frequency is held into our energetic body. So I guess what I want to say with that is that energetically, there is so much that you can do with your energy system, and and the energetic system and the emotional systems are totally things that we should include in healthcare.
Yeah, absolutely. And, food is energy. Energy is information. So, food is information, and it gives our body, well, information and instructions. It tells our body what to do. And this is why certain foods can turn on or off certain genetic markers to make us more susceptible to cancer or disease. And that is another reason to look at what affects us more so than another, positively or negatively, to determine these foods that turn on or off these genes. And so I love how in life there's that metaphysical spiritual explanation of how everything's energy and contains energy, and it affects our energy when we take it in us, but physically it does the same thing too. I mean, it literally turns on or off genes in our body. So it's just like the physical representation of that. And this being said, as a massage therapist, when I'm massaging somebody, like let's say somebody has shoulder pain,
Yeah.
I'm literally, and they're like, "Oh, I'm stressed out." They're literally like, I'm massaging their stress. I'm massaging the energy that is contained within their shoulders, that they're storing that information, and I'm giving their muscles instructions to release that energy that is the stress, to let go of that, so then their muscle can relax, because
Yeah.
they're no longer holding on to that. And that works with our organs, that works with our food, it works with everything.
Yeah, experiences that carry an emotional energy, past and present relationships, both personal and professional, whether it's traumatic experience or super profound memories, whether it's beliefs, attitudes, that includes like all the spiritual beliefs and the superstitious beliefs. Those emotions from those experiences become encoded in our cells, which then generates the quality of energy that reflects those emotions. So, yeah, so like someone who has um, pain in their shoulder, they will probably feel like they have a lot on their shoulders emotionally.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to give a another example of that, I mean, I was 285 pounds, and I had a lot of stretch marks in my stomach, and I had digestive problems. And I always say, like, it's just a physical representation of what transformed internally. I just ended up losing weight because I started to change my mind and heal of all these things. And so what were my biggest setbacks in my life that caused me the most trauma? Well, it was anger, it was anxiety, it was frustration, it was self-worth and confidence, guilt and shame. And where do we carry all that when, what do all these spiritual teachers tell us? That is our solar plexus in our stomach.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, really identifying the fear, like what is the fear that we have, and what is the main negative emotion. So whether it's anger or sadness or yeah, will indicate us, those emotions as a specific have a specific frequency, like I said, and they are associated to a specific organ or system in the body. So what I would love to see more is people not only trying to go through an emotion, but looking at it in terms of where in the body, um, where in the body is it going to go and like stay and change the frequency of that organ and eventually create disease, and also um, see what energy center, so where in our energetic anatomy it's going. So like you said, it can be in the solar plexus, which is right below the chest. um where is yeah where does this energetic center is, and what is the spiritual lesson associated to this energy center? That's the spiritual part of thing. Being spiritual is just seeking spiritual lessons with events and people and disease as and symptoms as cues and messengers to bring to our awareness our need to integrate this spiritual lesson.
exactly. It's about being more aware of yourself and the how you relate to what's around you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I, what is your take on fasting?
I think we shouldn't fear fasting. I know animals fast and detox. I believe that it's a very primal way to reset our digestive system. It basically gives a break to our digestive system, and it's very beneficial for people who have overwhelmed digestive organs. That's how you can basically validate someone that wants to fast. It's how they will how overburnt their liver or stomach or pancreas are, and how much their gut needs to be cleansed. But there are people need to just understand that there are different ways to fast, and that fasting is depending on the length of it and how you do it, you might really need support, and you absolutely need more rest. And you can do fast without water, but you can do it for very long. And there are specific points in the fast that, yeah, you might very well need support. So yeah, getting support from someone who has done it many times, or someone who has guided people doing it, I think is safe. And just being, like I think everybody, the main thing that I value in my career, in my life even, is self authority and freedom of choice in healthcare. So I'm not here to tell anyone to do or not do anything if they feel, if they really are connected to their body and that's what their body is, giving as a message, I will say, okay, research it, like really um, work with your intuition, but in an educated way.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I've used fasting to help me along my healing journey. It's helped improve my relationship with food because when you're without food and then you eat it again, you appreciate it more. Or you restrict certain food groups and you eat it again, you appreciate them a lot more. It's
Mm-hmm.
helped me develop self-discipline. And one thing too that I notice is, and that I keep in mind when I do fasts, when my body tells me to do it,
Mm-hmm.
is you know we are constantly, I mean, most people are constantly thinking about food or making food, or we're actually eating. Like life sort of revolves around food.
Mm-hmm.
And when we go without food, we can choose to use that time to be more consciously aware and get a little bit more in depth and involved with the other pleasures in life that are around us. We
Mm-hmm.
don't need all of our pleasures in our mouth. We can there look at the
Activate
beautiful,
other senses.
yeah, like look, well, not even, yeah, other senses, but just the relations around us. Like I had a food addiction. Maybe I'm still, part of me is still trying to heal of that, even though it's been 3 years. But when I go without, I can be like, okay, I don't need food right now. I'm safe. I'm nourished. My body's doing its job of healing itself. I have beautiful children. I have 3 beautiful boys that are amazing. I have an amazing partner. Like she's so wonderful to me. I have such an amazing family. Like I count my blessings, count what I'm grateful for, and it allows me to be more present and more in the moment. And I
Mm-hmm.
think fasting has been like the number one thing that sort of all religions and spiritual practices have done, and I think there's a reason, because it connects you more to what matters, connects you more to spirit, connects you more to God, because you're not focused on what keeps you in your body, which is food. You're focused on everything else, but, well, if you choose to, it'll help you get through the fast, certainly. But it can be a really spiritual and beautiful thing. But and then some people just look at it for the positive benefits, which that's good too. Gives you greater clarity of mind and all that stuff. It helps you think more because your body's producing ketones, and you're eliminating a certain food that's been causing brain fog during that fast or whatever.
Well,
But
it's because what happens during fasting is that the energy that would usually be used to digest food, all of it is converted into energy to clean up the system. So you have a lot, like after a few days, you have a lot less, um, toxins in circulation if you didn't have too much in your fat deposits. So you're experiencing clarity because it's clear. It's clear of things that are usually messing up with signals in your brain.
yeah,
Mhm. And that can absolutely be a beautiful way to be more present and to have a spiritual experience, like be in a connection with deeper part of yourself. And I think this can be valid in any type of fast, like avoiding to do something that we do every day for a day or two or three, taking a break of something that we've been doing every day for a while is is beneficial. I think there's nothing that you could do that wouldn't be beneficial. Maybe sleep, but other than
like social media fasting and screen fasting.
screen fasting is huge. It's huge, especially if we're talking about mental health.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, Another thing I was gonna ask you is like, what's your take on keto, carnivore, vegan, vegetarian, paleo, all these different diets? Because I feel like when somebody, when they're new to all this, when somebody's like, I'm gonna change my life, I want to start living healthier, I want to lose weight, whether it be one or the other, I think a lot of the times they might feel they have to pick a diet to go towards. So what would you say to them, and what's your take on that whole subject?
I would say to people, pick yourself, pick the exploration of yourself and your own biochemical needs, your unique nutritional imbalances. Find out what they are, and you'll know what foods to choose. That's super simple. It's super simple to come to me and have a full, like, 5 pages of questions. And those 5 pages of questions, they're so worth it, because they will give you insight on what needs support, what needs more nourishment, what you need to avoid, and what you need to focus on avoiding in your lifestyle, and what type of thoughts you should be focusing on having. I give affirmations to people that that connects their body and their mind, basically.
Yeah, so you're helping them to also develop a healing mindset.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, exact. Rather than, I think we can get caught up in maybe a victim mentality, and we can sort of be like, I guess part of my transformation is transitioning from looking at situations as them happening to me to happening for me, my test becoming my testimony, and no longer playing the victim and taking life back into my own hands and realizing I have infinite potential to heal my body and my mind and my trauma. And so you help people a lot with that as well. I remember you sort of mentioned that before, and like helping people with their healing mindset and energy healing principles, because that's so important when you're embarking on any journey, is getting that down pat,
Yeah.
and getting those affirmations down, setting intentions and goals for yourself, not even just goals but more so just intentions, and deciding things for yourself, like I'm gonna do this because, or and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's so important, like, in terms of the information that is available about nutrition and all the diet options. It's so important for people to check in and make sure they're not asking themselves, what's out there that is good for me? And instead asking, what's within me that is giving me indication of what I should do, what I should go towards. And what I'm here for, what my profession is basically helping people to find out what their body's messages mean. So if you're
Yes,
experiencing this type of digestive woes, or if you're experiencing this type of mental health challenge, it means um, I can translate it in terms of food. I can translate it in terms of amino acids, fatty acids, vitamins, minerals. So yeah, that's just um, adopting, yeah, absolutely, letting go of the victim consciousness. Nothing's happening because you're not good enough. Nothing's happening because you should have been done things another way. It's just happening for you to give you the message of where you're heading. And
exactly.
yeah, and if you can't interpret what your symptoms, you just go to someone who's able to tell you what's underlying, what's under those symptoms, what's the imbalance under that.
Yeah, and sometimes that can change too, like in regards to what your body tells you that you need, or what foods you should incorporate, or what lifestyle changes you should make. Um, Mine's certainly changed. As I mentioned, I was vegan at one point, and that changes for me with the season, changes with me different days of the week, as we operate on different rhythms. We off we as humans operate on weekly rhythms, monthly rhythms, and yearly rhythms, and so on and so forth, and even beyond that. And so it's
Yeah.
about paying attention to those. So if during the winter time, my body tells me to eat more like squash and meat and stuff, like grass-fed beef and pasture-raised animals, and in the summertime, my body tells me to eat more vegetable-based diet. So, and that sort of like coincides with the ayurvedic medicine principles as well too. And though I think there's very good reason for that whole philosophy, and there's a lot of validity to it. So I understand that you're working on a course, and do you think that'll be ready by the time this is published, which will probably be in December or sometime in January?
I think I will probably be starting with the group of people in February, but yeah, launching, opening doors for enrollment in January.
That's amazing. So what's that all about for the listener, if in case they want to find you on social media or something? What are you offering? What services are you offering that you could help them with?
Hello, everyone. Flo here. I'm super grateful Jordan accepted to have this conversation with me. And on top of that, he accepted that I record a little conclusion for the audio to tell you about a couple offers that I have for you right now. I want to tell you right away that one of them is free. Before I go into those, I just want to come back on a topic that came out during our conversation. This topic is the topic of fasting. So I wanted to add to what I said, which was not much, that what's good about fasting is that even a 1 day liquid fast is beneficial. Also, what we need to take into consideration when we're getting the gut feeling that fasting can restore our health or help us restore our health is that we don't fast to prepare the body to flush out toxins. We prepare the body to flush out toxins before we fast. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. We don't fast to prepare the body to flush out toxins. We prepare the body to flush out toxins before we fast. And we continue to support this process during the fast. Why is that? Because when we are fasting is when many more toxins may be in circulation. Because the energy that is normally used in the digestive process goes to the healing and repair process. So basically what I recommend or suggest or invite you to talk with a professional is taking the responsibility to support the organs that have for function to flush out the toxins that have built up in your body. These organs include the colon, the liver, the kidneys, and the skin. So that's basically what I wanted to add. I think you have a long way to explore with those avenues. And now I want to let you know about my first free educational tool. It's not a diet. It's actually a compilation of 18 different foods that are known to benefit the mental well-being beyond nourishing the food. So what I mean by that is that those are foods that are known to support organs and systems that are the most intertwined with your nervous system, your brain, your mental health. So this e-guide is about 25 pages. It's free, and it's meant to help you progress in your food selection and preparation. Now, I also want to tell you about a little 4-week course that is coming up on the creation of mental health. So it's basically my blueprint for creating mental well-being and a sense of grounding. Again, it's not a diet. It's a blend of knowledge with a focus on mental health. It's really worth it in our hectic times, right? Imagine feeling in control, serene, and able to balance high achievement and replenishment. That's what this course is going to teach you. The module 1 is meant to help you create a healthy flow of energy, because energy is what we are, and it's connected with our physiology. In module 2, which is week 2, you will learn how to create digestive health, because faulty digestion breaks harmony in the whole body and mind. In module 3, you're going to create intestinal health, because I don't know if you knew that, but disease begins in the gut. In module 4, last module, last week, so it's 4 weeks, you're going to learn how to create a brain-friendly flow of nutrients so that you can set the foundation for hormonal and emotional balance. So that's it, my friends. I hope that you're curious about this, and I hope you're going to indulge your curious side on what I see as the full circle of foundational teachings to create mental well-being. And of course, I am open to answer any questions, and you will see links in the show notes for the 2 different offerings that I just told you about.
Yeah, that's really good. So I'm gonna include all of like the links to your stuff in the show description, and so people can find you and stuff on social media and all that jazz. And I wanted to ask you, like, before we wrap things up, first and foremost, is there anything else you're feeling compelled to share to leave the audience with?
Yeah, something came up to me when what you just talked about before asking me about the program, about how your needs change according to the season.
Yeah.
What came up is that healing is not linear. So that's something that we really need to integrate in our mindset, is that doing something, we'll probably have to do something more than once so that we can heal. We will need multiple cycles of getting curious and in touch with our body and learning about it and taking action and transform through consistency to finally become a new version of ourselves, a more healthy version of ourselves. And in my own life, I actually never expect to manifest a positive change in my health, whether it's emotional or physical, in less than 1 month. I work on a monthly basis in terms of goal setting and intention setting and even diet planning. So every month for me is a new opportunity to focus on something that will improve my health. And I know that if it gets better, it doesn't mean I won't have to refocus on that area of my health, because we're cyclical beings. And I've seen it in my clients too. All of them who were able to apply that, um, they've seen they've seen they've seen their concerns become less of a burden, and they have seen their self-esteem improve a lot, which really helps them keeping going. Um, yeah, what happens is that people see themselves for more than a feeling, a symptom, or a diagnosis. They try new ways, every for you maybe it's every week, for someone maybe it's every day, but definitely for women, I would say I would suggest to let go of the weekly thing and the daily thing, and really work with a monthly and their own menstrual cycle, to tune into that, and plan their emotional and physical healing with that.
Yeah, amen to that. That'll alleviate a lot of stress.
Yeah, that really changed my life, to let go of the weekly, um even the physical activity. I was so struggling to adopt a weekly schedule for my physical activity, and it took me years to realize, hey, this is not the way, because you're a woman and you have a menstrual cycle, and every week you have different level of hormones, which are sending different signals to your body and to your mind, and therefore you need different things every week for a month, and then it comes back again. And as soon as I aligned with that, so much stress on my body and on my mind went away. Yeah. So, yeah, bringing to our conscious awareness that we are worthy of feeling control and of where our health journey is headed, and that peace that we can get if we align with our own individual rhythm, is like is the way. It's the way.
Absolutely, aligning with your own truth and understanding that that truth will change, because that's
Hmm.
called growing and evolving.
Yeah, the only constant in life is change.
And that's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah.
Because we're not gonna want to stand still all the time. We're gonna want to get up and move and explore. And I think I'll end it with a final question, and that question is, what is one mind, body, practice, or lifestyle habit that you do now that you wish you did years ago, that you would recommend other people to try out for themselves?
Having a self reflection practice based on my menstrual cycle and the cycles of the moon.
Yeah, that's really good. Do you journal that?
Yeah, I use the symbology and the meaning of the different phases, and yeah, the meaning of the different phases of the moon, which can be basically, it's a reflection of my own menstrual cycle. um yeah, I use that to ask myself questions.
Exactly. And for the men listening, just pick up a journal and self-reflect, and just write down what comes to mind and notice how you feel with certain
Yeah.
things, and write down your intentions and stuff. But anyways, thank you so much for coming on and chatting with me. It was a pleasure. We touched on some really great subjects here and really great topics that will help a lot of people. So I wish you the most success with your course and your journey of helping others. And yeah, thank you very much. You're a beautiful soul. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much for this time to have a conversation together.